Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and good morning everybody. I'm Nurinda Apriella from Group G, or in the syllabus is number 5. I will explain about the period of English literature, the Renaissance. First of all, I want to say thanks to your participation for watching my video. Okay, to make time efficient, I will explain about the historical background of this period. Two means help to shape this period in English: the Reformation and the widespread use the printing press. And then this Reformation start from October 31, 1517. That is Martin Luther, a German priest, and he publishes his 95 theses against to sale of papal indulgences to help St. Peter Basilica. This led to the subsequent rebellion against the Catholic authorities and the birth of Protestantism. The Catholic Church and its hierarchy lost of much of its power and influence. This gave rise to consequences about humanity that didn't really depend on religion and become much more centered around the human being, a movement we identify as humanism. Okay, next, I will explain about Reformation in Britain. The Church of England is the established EA state church in England and the mother church of the Anglican communication. It originates in the conflicts between church and state throughout the Middle Ages, culminating in the Act of Supremacy issued by Henry VIII in 1534. This repudiated papal supremacy and declared the king to be the supreme head of the church in England. Next is about the printing press. During the beginning of the 16th century, the availability of printed works grew explosively. Printed versions of the Old Roman and Greek classics became widely available. Translation of the Bible also became widely available, this giving extra force to the Reformation ideal of finding in the Holy Book all the answers for the spiritual needs of the common people. Okay, next I will show the artists or the poets in the period Renaissance. First is Sir Thomas Wade, 1503 until 1542. He is an English poet and statesman. He produced the first group in English is sonnets. He wrote lyrics, rondeaus, satires, and a paraphrase of the Peninsula. The second is Henry Howard, the Earl of Surrey, 1517 until 1547. He is a Carter and a poet. And then he is Edmund Spenser, 1552 until 1559. He is a poet, born in London, the first 3 books of which is Elizabeth I in 1590 and the second in 1596, but the poem was left unfinished at his death. And the last is William Shakespeare, 1564 until 1616. He is an English dramatist and poet. His poetic output included two narrative poems, Venus and Adonis, and the Rape of Lucrece, and 154 sonnets. Next, I will tell about literature of the period is drama. First, without a doubt, the major literary achievements of the age can be found in the dramatic works of Christopher Marlowe, William Shakespeare, and Ben Jonson. Second, the latter of the 16th century saw the rise in popularity of genre that was born from representation inside churches and cathedrals. Third, the patronage of Queen Elizabeth I and King James I in favor of companies of actors secure a steady flow of plays from some of the most talented writers in history. Okay, I will tell you about the authors in drama. The first is Christopher Marlowe. He is an English dramatist and poet, born in Canterbury in 1587. He became an actor and dramatist for the Lord Admiral's Company. Marlowe is not especially for his establishment of the dramatic is blank verse. The second of the writer of drama is William Shakespeare. He is the playwright. Shakespeare, considered the greatest playwright that ever lived. He is credited with 37 plays, divided into comedies, tragedies, romances, Roman plays, and historical plays. And the last is Ben Jonson. The full name of Ben Jonson is Benjamin Jonson. He is the English Jacobin dramatist, lyric poet, and literary critic. Among his major plays are the comedies Every Man in His Humor in 1598, Full Point in 1606, The Alchemist in 1610, and then Bartholomew Fair in 1614. Okay, next I will tell about the other literature of the period is prose. The prose of this period took several forms. Translation of major classical works, chronicles, early novels, and essays were written by a variety of talented authors. Among we can find Francis Bacon, Thomas Nash, Richard Hooker, and etc. Then, the authorized translation of the Bible is another major piece of work written in prose. Okay, next I will tell about the author or writers of prose. First is Mary Herbert. She is a patroness of the arts and scholarship and a notable translator. Apart from several translation works, she authored a number of poems, most notably an elegy to her brother Philip. She published a first translation of her brother Philip Sidney after Philip died. The next one is Amelia Lerner. She is a highly educated woman. In 1611, she published a volume of poetry entitled Self Deus Rex Judaeorum, or Hail God, King of the Jews. All the poems were written in iambic pentameter. The poems of the book reflect learners' ideas about the place of women in society and are quite advanced for the period. For example, is Eva's Apology. Okay, the last one is Queen Elizabeth. She was a queen in England and Ireland from 1558 to 1603. She was a patron of the arts, especially literature, possessed great knowledge, wrote poetry, and translated several texts into English. Okay, there is a three writer or authors prose in the period of Renaissance. Okay, next I will explain about the emblematic literature. The Book of Emblems was born in the Renaissance and was to become one of the most popular of literature for the next 200 years. The main characteristic of the emblem book is the relationship between image and text, accompanied by an image that usually illustrates or clarifies the text. And then, in 1535, Andrea Alciati publishes the first book of emblems called Emblematum Liber, or Book of Emblem. And the last, Alciati's book proved extremely popular and was subsequently translated and printed in as many as 150 different editions. Okay, next, I will explain about the sonnet. A sonnet is a 14-line poem in iambic pentameter with a carefully patterned rime scheme. The Italian or Petrarchan sonnet was introduced into English poetry in the early 16th century by Sir Thomas Wyatt. The English or Shakespearean sonnet, developed first by the Earl of Surrey, consists of 3 quatrains and couplet that is said. It rhyme AB AB, CD CD, AF AF, and GG. Example: Wyatt's farewell, love, and all thy lost forever. And then Shakespeare's sonnet. Okay, next I will explain about the blank verse. In dramatic iambic pentameter, the most important dramatic and narrative verse form in English. Blank verse enables a character to express the emotions beautifully and musically, and yet retaining the natural rhythm of the language. And the last one about blank verse, William Shakespeare transformed the line and the instrument of blank verse into the vehicle for the greatest English dramatic poetry. His most poignant tragedies, such as Othello, King Lear, Hamlet, and Macbeth, are mainly written in carefully crafted blank verse. Okay, at the end of this presentation, I will show you the writings or works from artists or poets in the Renaissance period.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got got that sun.
Okay, that is writings or works from the arts in Renaissance period, and that was a presentation about the period of English literature, the Renaissance. I think that's enough, and hope it can add insight to all of us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.